without mental illness also think like this? Or is it just us? Hello, my fellow dweebs, and welcome back to my 50K 5-day rewatch celebration. Today we are watching an episode from Bojack Horseman, one of the most profound TV shows I think I can think of, not just animated. It's the same way that I feel about Avatar. I think it is one of the best shows of all time. Period. I had to think long and hard about what episode I wanted to watch on the channel because there's a lot of episodes that would have made for a great initial reaction, but a rewatch not so much. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you've not seen the show, just turn off this video right now. But for example, the death of Sarah Lynn or the episode The View from Halfway Down, I really considered doing that one, but I just don't think it would have the same poignancy watching it for a second time. So I decided to go with an episode that maybe doesn't have quite the same emotional pull, but I still found to be equally notable. This episode is called Stupid Piece of Shit. If you have seen the show, I'm sure you remember it. I obviously remember the premise of this episode and the sort of internal monologue that he has running the whole time, but I don't remember a ton of what was happening in the show at the time or what the overarching theme of the season was about. So yeah, I think I remember just enough that it'll be a good one to rewatch. So without further ado, let's get watching Bojack Horseman Season 4, Episode 6, Stupid Piece of Shit.
Piece of shit.
Oh boy.
Stupid piece of shit.
Here we go.
You're a real stupid piece of shit. But I know I'm a piece of shit. That at least makes me better than all the pieces of shit who don't know they're pieces of shit. Or is it worse? Stop it. Don't eat one more cookie. Put that cookie down. Do not eat that cookie. I can't believe you ate that cookie.
It be like that sometimes though.
If she takes the car, then you're trapped here with Mom and her spooky lazy eyes. But if you get the milk and leave Hollyhock here with Mom, then she can tell her things about you. No, you don't deserve to die young. Only the greats die young. Oh, now you think you're young all of a sudden. One drink. Whoa, is it night suddenly? You're there, you do your thing, and then people forget. Forget it, Jake, it's Sue's town. Is that me? Am I the suddenly Sue's town of people? Shit.
Do people without mental illness also think like this? Or is it just us?
Did you get the milk?
Whew, this is harder to watch than I remember.
If you're looking for the milk Tina ended up getting, Tina is using it to make us all breakfast.
Thank you,
Well,
Tina.
it's about time someone pulls their weight around here.
No one loves a fatty patty.
Oh. Oh, Hollyhock. You can tell that comment bothered her.
You are a terrible person.
Use the shoulder, asshole!
He gets it.
I know!
Oh, there's my favorite character right there.
More importantly, audiences are going to adore your tour de force performance as the forceful denim-clad court reporter in the Court Reporter Sported Jorts, the jet-setting jort-sporting court reporter story.
Oh my gosh, the tongue twisters in this show, I forgot. They're so good.
We're talking procession of elephants. We're talking Jaden Smith in a Clockwork Orange costume reading a poem he wrote. Does that poem rhyme? No. What are you, crazy? Of course it doesn't.
He is the perfect representation of an agent.
This wedding is so fancy, we don't care if you have other plans. I'm happy to help, but I believe traditionally it's the bride's manager who plans the wedding.
Okay. Keep it down, oaf. You'll make the baby cry.
Baby.
That's right, that baby doll.
It was getting depressing to look at her.
That's why I made her this pillowcase. You just put this over her head,
Oh.
and everything is fine.
Dark in here.
It is really dark in here.
No, it's pretty wild for an asexual to get married, but...
Not really. John and I are aces and we're married.
Aromantic.
Yeah.
Some asexuals are also aromantic, but others have relationships like anyone else.
With anteaters.
Probably because you're such a good mother, Beatrice.
Don't say that.
I was very nervous to have a baby in the house, but it turns out all it needed is a mother's love.
Oh, good job, Tina.
Am I jealous of a doll? Well, maybe if that doll wasn't so smug, looking at me with its creepy doll eyes. She's tricking you, Hollyhock. This is not what she's really like. Oh, I know. What if for 18 years straight, I just tell it how worthless it is every day? How it embarrasses me? How my life would be better if it was never born? Would that be a good idea? Oh, no, my hands are so slippery. Oh, no. Oh. nice arm. This is what you do. This is what you always do. This is why Mom loves Doll more than you. You screw up. You're making your daughter hate you, which is good, because look what happens when people love you. Look at Penny.
Oof, that line.
California can't wait. Am I ace
Oh
of
my
base
gosh.
right now?
This is the season where he's running for governor.
Bojack Horseman? What is this? A Will.i.am style celebrity endorsement video?
I love him so much.
Take the rest of the day off. My pal Bojack needs a friend day. California can wait.
Honestly, Mr. Peanut Butter is a politician. His entire personality, it just makes sense.
It's Meryl Streep.
Did Meryl Streep die?
No, she's retiring.
Mr. McGregor!
You cannot just walk into a room and say, I have terrible news about Meryl Streep.
Her retirement party is scheduled for this Saturday.
True, though.
Just need a whiff of your mom to track the scent. Oh, excuse me, young lady. I'm looking for a Beatrice, but you're way too young and attractive to be that mean old crone.
Oh, whose house is this gonna
Oh, hi, I'm
Bojack Horseman.
Felicity Huffman.
Looking for this?
Yes!
Well, keep looking, buddy. You're a real piece of shit. You know that?
Oh, he does.
Thanks, Diane. You've given me and Dark Wimbertus McNarrington a lot to think about.
I love everything about Todd.
You talked shit about her at an AIDS benefit and didn't realize your mic was on.
I have been living directly under your house for the last 15 years.
Oh.
Do you have any idea how
That's
much
why.
shit you throw over the side of your deck? Beer bottles, lit cigarettes, scripts where the lead is female.
As the future governor of California, what if we cut the baby in half?
What?
Why would we do
No.
that?
So you both agree that's a bad idea. Perhaps you're not so different after all? Advantage peanut butter.
How is that?
Felicity Huffman.
Brilliant.
I have breached Compound Street. If I don't make it out of this alive, just know that I have already seen heaven, and it is Meryl's rose garden.
And the offer?
I put it under a big box that's propped up by a stick.
All I can think about is every shitty thing I've ever done, and I think, I don't deserve that kind of love.
Look, Bojack, I don't know a lot about balancing a state budget or how a bill becomes a law. I don't know a lot about a lot of things. But I do know this. Everybody deserves to be loved.
Marriage is like a Tootsie Pop. The lollipop part is a lie. But at the center of the lie, there's a truth. That's the Tootsie Roll. And that's why people get married.
So close.
Okay, Todd, you gotta do what's right for you.
Thanks, Princess Carolyn.
Oh.
All right, blue sky time. Can't you tuck the kids into bed, read them some script coverage of the film adaptation of Goodnight Moon, and then come back? This is important.
Well, my kids are important.
Fine, both things are equally important.
Oh my God. Thank God you're not a mother. You would be hilarious at it.
If you'd like to never see him again, I have ways of getting rid of him.
What kind of ways?
And for what it's worth, you will be a wonderful mother.
You're not just saying that?
I never just say anything. I choose my words very carefully with an eye towards precision and expediency.
Oh, that's
Oh.
poor Meryl. I just totally ignored that crate the entire time.
No matter what, your poison is already in her. There's nothing you can do. That's not true. Yeah, it is. You stupid piece of shit. You're a real stupid piece of shit. And everywhere you go, you destroy people. What are you gonna do, asshole? Shut up!
Where do you go when you disappear all day?
Just drive around. Sometimes I go to a bar.
And you'd rather do that than spend time with me.
Hollyhock.
I know you didn't ask for this dorky 17-year-old to just show up at your door. Then I'm sorry if I'm annoying, but
No,
I didn't ask
Hollyhock,
for...
I'm glad you're here. If I'm shitty, that's just because I'm shitty.
Sometimes I have this tiny voice in the back of my head that goes like, hey, everyone hates you, and they're not wrong to feel that way.
I know what you mean.
That voice, the one that tells you you're worthless and stupid and ugly,
Yeah?
it goes away, right?
Yeah.
Take my head and kick it in.
What an episode. Wow. Rewatching that just reminded me how damn good this show is. I mean, you want to talk about going on a journey in the span of a 23 minute, however long that was episode. I laughed, I cried, almost cried, I got chills, I fell in and out of love with Bojack Horseman like 7 different times. You just feel so sorry for him because it's obviously not his fault that he was raised the way he was, that his parents were so terrible to him, which you didn't really see in this episode, but if you watch the show, you know. But it reaches a point where when are you gonna start taking accountability and responsibility for your actions? Like at a certain point, it just doesn't matter the way you were raised anymore. If that hurt becomes cyclical and you're just hurting the people that are in your life now that you love. But to be real with you guys for a second, that inner monologue and that voice that Bojack hears as somebody who struggles with their mental health, a lot with anxiety, with depression as well, that is something that has been such a challenge for me to contend with throughout the course of my life. I know I come on here and I'm super happy and make videos and have fun with you guys. And it's not that that's not real. That's a part of who I am. And I have done the work, a lot of work in this past year particularly, to be honest, to, I was gonna say eradicate, but I suppose really minimize that voice. But watching this episode reminds me of some of my worst and darkest times that I've felt that way about myself. Maybe not particularly that I'm a bad person, but I think my voice sounds a little bit more like Hollyhocks, that I just would worry that people didn't like me or were mad at me or were like lying when they would give me a compliment, which is such a terrible place to be. So yeah, I didn't necessarily mean to be this open and vulnerable with this review, but I guess I just wanted to say that if you're going through it right now, I hope that you're able to reach the other side, because I feel a lot more peaceful these days than I think I ever have, and I want that for anybody watching this video. If this episode resonated with you for whatever reason, just know that you're not alone, and I'm sending you all the love. Wow, that got deep. Anyways, to speak more on the show itself, just pure genius. I just think that this show has some of the most clever writing I've ever seen. And the voice actors are all such incredible talent. They really bring all the characters to life. And I feel like I've said this with every rewatch episode I've done this week, but really and truly, so difficult for me to choose a favorite character. As each of them came on the screen, I was like, oh no, that's my favorite character. Oh no, actually that's my favorite character. Each of the characters are so involved, and you really get to see so much of their lives and their backstories that even though Bojack is the main character of the show, the ensemble has some pretty heavy-hitting episodes of their own. And I relate to each of them for such different reasons. I think I relate to Bojack's mental health struggles, but I also relate to Mr. Peanut Butter, because I tend to try and view the world very optimistically. I like to have fun and have a good time. I think I can be very introspective like Diane. And do I even have to say all the reasons that I'm Todd? I would love to hear what character you relate to the most, or if you're like me and have reasons that you relate to all of them, let me know why in the comments down below. And I'd really love to hear your thoughts on this episode as well. And I will see you dweebs later.